If I were starting my occupational therapy business in 2026, knowing everything I know now about healthcare policy and reimbursement, technology, and where this profession is actually heading, I would not be trying to build the same OT business models we were taught in school. And that's not because OT is broken. It's because the system around OT is changing so fast. Reimbursement is tightening. Our burnout is rising. AI, telehealth, and consumer driven care are all expanding. And older adults are demanding more independence than ever. So today, I want to walk you through 5 areas that I would focus on if I were starting from scratch in 2026, based on the policy shifts, and there are a lot of them right now, market trends, and what I'm seeing work right now for OTs who are building sustainable, flexible careers. This is totally not about hype. It's actually about positioning yourself ahead of the curve. So, trend number one is aging in place is no longer optional. If I were starting in 2026, aging in place would be the foundation of my business model. And home mods is not the only way to address this. Let's start with the why. 10,000 adults are turning 65 every day. Institutional care is becoming financially unsustainable. Policy incentives are shifting towards home and community based services. And families want to avoid facilities. States are already reallocating Medicaid dollars away from nursing homes and towards community-based supports. Medicare Advantage plans are expanding supplemental benefits related to home safety and fall prevention and caregiver education. And this creates a massive opportunity for OTs who understand home audits, environmental assessments, caregiver training. So if I were starting today, I wouldn't brand myself as a home health OT. I brand myself as a specialist in keeping people safely independent at home longer. That positioning matters because it clicks with the problems people are facing right now. Okay, trend number two is that telehealth is evolving, not disappearing. There's a lot of fear around telehealth rollbacks, and yes, some of the pandemic era flexibilities have already tightened, but here's what's not going away. Hybrid care models, they work. Virtual caregiver education works. Remote consultations and follow-ups are cost effective. Interstate digital services are coming with more ease with the OT Compact. And even if direct telehealth reimbursement shifts, tele-OT as a service model is totally here to stay, especially when you pair it with cash pay or employer benefits or caregiver support programs or digital education. So if I were starting in 2026, I'd use telehealth strategically as an access point, as the layer that can scale, as a way to decouple my income from solely being focused on hourly in-person visits. Telehealth is no longer about replacing in-person care. It's actually about extending your reach. Trend number three is digital products will be non-negotiable. You might be reticent to do this, but it's also where the leverage is. In 2026, education-based digital products will not be extra. They're going to be expected. Think about caregiver guides or condition-specific roadmaps, home safety checklists, transition plans after discharge. Why does this matter from a policy and a business standpoint? Because payers don't really reimburse for education well, but families desperately need it, and digital products can help bridge that gap. So if I were starting today, I'd ask, what do my clients ask me to explain over and over again? And I'd build that into a product, not to replace care, but to extend it. Okay, trend number four, education-based brands will outlast the clinics because truthfully, clinics are expensive, but brands are scalable. So in 2026, the OTs who thrive will not just deliver services, they'll own the education layer as the expert around their niche. And that might look like a YouTube channel for caregivers, or a paid membership for condition education, or workshops for employers or community organizations, digital courses for families navigating a diagnosis. The policy shifts are increasingly pushing responsibility onto the families, and OTPs are uniquely positioned to translate medical complexity, functional impact, and real-world application. So if I were starting again, I wouldn't ask, how am I going to get more visits? I'd ask, how do I become the trusted voice for this population? Okay, trend number five is condition-specific niches are going to win. In 2026, clarity is going to beat capability. Condition-specific niches I would totally consider are Parkinson's, dementia, stroke recovery, post-hospital transition, and chronic condition self-management. Why? Because families search by condition. Funding follows diagnosis. Partnerships can form around specialization. AI and algorithms reward specificity in your content. Policy, tech, and consumer behavior all point to the same conclusion. The narrower your niche, the stronger your impact and income potential. Now, if I were starting my OT business in 2026, I wouldn't just be building a practice. I'd be building a platform or a body of expertise or multiple pathways towards some greater impact. Healthcare really is shifting from institutions into homes, from visits into systems, from paying per visit to paying for better outcomes. And OT fits perfectly into that future if we allow ourselves to evolve. Also, if you want more information on the new payment models, programs, and competition that the current administration is releasing, just ask in the comments and we'll link to the policy shift that your business may be able to take advantage of. Now, if this video helped you think bigger about what's possible as an OTP, please make sure to like and subscribe because it helps more therapists find this content. Because the future of OT isn't shrinking, it's expanding if you position yourself correctly.